Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. By the way, I was just getting a little feedback from the guy that put this whole workshop together. Without him, none of us would be here, including myself. Ladies and gentlemen, let's give it up for Mr. Lonnie Hanover, ladies and gentlemen. I want you all to see the mistake that Peter made. He takes the stage and immediately begins interacting with the audience. Huge mistake. You don't know what they're going to say in response. You can't forfeit that kind of control. I don't care if you did see Freddie Roman riffing with the crowd at a late set and Catch a Rising Star. You're too green. Stick to your material. I've been taking Lonnie's comedy workshop for a while at this point in the early 80s, and I wasn't quite sure it was the right fit for me. It wasn't the seedy Times Square loft and the bad lighting, although it could have had something to do with the seedy workshop director and the bad underbite. Well, now and then there was a fair point to be made. I mean, you know, like that issue about engaging with the audience. Okay, I get it, but he's just not helping me find the funny, man. You know, I heard that he was a talent agent by day, so I gave him the benefit of the doubt. I mean, and truth is, I think he does know a thing or two about the actual business aspect of show business. And I would have appreciated that if I could just get past. Okay, well, I mean, his appearance for one thing. I mean, what's with the protruding lower jaw? Looks like it was broken in a bar fight years back. You know, but it's not. I'm not just superficial. It's not appearances alone. Okay, there's also the issue. Okay. Of those goon friends of his that just mysteriously show up in the middle of the workshop, okay? Sit way off to the side, arms crossed, never a word. You know, it's creepy, man. It makes me feel like something is a front of the Gambino crime thing. I mean, like, you know, every now and then he gives one of them an introduction. Oh, it turns out they have some, nominal association with the very fringes of show business. That's fine. But they're not helping me find the funny either. I don't know. Lonnie and the Gambino boys, and it's just, it just doesn't seem like the right place for me to get in touch with my inner Tommy Smothers, But listen, I signed the contract, so I'm sorry, I mentioned the contract, right? Yeah, okay, I'm sorry, backpedal, let me fill that in. Yeah, I did sign a contract, not with Lonnie, no, Lonnie was strictly pay as you go, but I did sign a contract. Well, here's the story, see, as a young man, I had stars in my eyes, and I really, really wanted to make it in this business. So, just before I began to take Lonnie's comedy workshop, I made the most important appointment of my life. Yeah, hi. My name's Peter Smith, and I'm here for my 2:30 appointment. I'm sure it's on the schedule. Yeah, I'm supposed to finalize some paperwork on the deal that I made with the devil. Don't let me lose you this fast. Like, that doubt just washed over me like a wave. And I know where the doubt comes from. Yes, you heard what you heard, but ladies and gentlemen, you all have an overly romanticized notion as to how these deals actually go down. You're picturing what, like Faust, or Robert Thompson at the crossroads. Right? Trust me, it's much more pedestrian than that. This is interesting. Are you sure you don't find my name on the schedule? This was confirmed with a phone call. Yo, Mabel. He doesn't have any 2:30 with the devil. He's my 2:30. Send him back to me. What's this? This kills me. I come here in good faith to make a deal with the devil, okay? And it turns out apparently the mighty Lucifer was too busy to see me directly. So I'm getting pawned off on one of his junior field reps. Look at this guy. He's barely a gremlin, more like a. How far down on the organizational chart is this guy? But he had the paperwork. So in the middle of the negotiation process, I find myself very keyed in on one specific clause. You might be familiar with the clause. Fame and fortune in exchange for your soul. I mention this, and this snotty little gremlin, fresh out of his, his apprenticeship at the Republican National Convention, starts to laugh. Oh, this is beautiful. You think you rank for the premium package. Oh, this is too good. Apparently something on my resume indicated that I wasn't quite the candidate they were looking for the premium package. So he's trying to foist off one of his subprime deals on me with less desirable terms. Okay, Hayseed, here's the package. First off, fame and fortune are not guaranteed. Oh, but here's the part that you're going to like. You can plug away at this comedy thing
For as long as you want. Take the rest of your life. There's no sunset date on this contract. And as long as you choose to pursue your dreams, our organization is prepared to provide you with endless access to as many dead-end day jobs as is necessary just to stay afloat. You'll never have to worry about hunger, gaps in employment, or failure to make the monthly rent. Oh, and here's the sweet part for a nice little Episcopalian boy like yourself. We don't claim your soul at the end. You walk away free and clear.
I'm lost completely at this point in the negotiation. But, you know, okay, there's a little comfort in knowing that I won't have to scrimp and scrounge, you know, for rent money and everything while I'm building my career. But you know, what does the devil's organization get out of a deal like this? He's not even claiming my soul at the end.
My friend, you fail to recognize our overall market strategy. By keeping a number of pawns like yourself perpetually stuck in the dead-end job mill, hungering for fame and fortune, it increases the market value of our premium package, which we and sell to the more worthy candidates.
Yeah, there was talk of worthy candidates. He alluded to the cast members of The Facts of Life as an example. I think that was hypothetical. But I took the deal. And I attended Lonnie's Comedy Workshop, knowing that the deal that I just struck put the onus on me to achieve fame and fortune. I mean, I had to take advantage of every opportunity, no matter how remote. Trust me, the odds of achieving fame and fortune at Lonnie's Comedy Workshop were looking increasingly remote. I would sit there preoccupied with the very real possibility that I never was going to make it as an entertainer. You know, that I was going to end up just as my little gremlin friend had imagined, forever stuck in a series of dead-end day jobs and mindless toil, you know, with fame and fortune remaining an elusive fantasy. If somebody else from the workshop was up in front getting one of Lonnie's, you know, hammer-jawed critiques, I just try to reconcile the inevitable. Okay, all right. Okay, I'm never gonna be called to scale artistic heights. Okay, I'm never gonna realize the poetic harlequin within me. I'm never gonna do. Okay, I'm never gonna do. What's the word? Cocaine. The dream is dead. Okay. As these thoughts are coursing through my head, you know, we're interrupted yet again by one of Lonnie's calls to acknowledge another one of his visitors to the club, another one of his goon friends from the fringes of show business, I imagine. Ladies and gentlemen, the infamous Leo Steiner, ladies and gentlemen. Leo Steiner. Well, hold on now. Lonnie might be onto something this time. Leo's, that is it. Yeah, and Lonnie's right. This guy is infamous, at least by my way of reckoning. Yeah, that's it. See, Leo Steiner runs the Carnegie Deli. And infamous not only due to the fact that he helms probably the best carving counter in Manhattan, but also he's a bit of a show business legend, well, by extension. Well, see, since by tradition, the Carnegie Deli is the hangout for all the old Borscht Belt comics. You know, that's where they all go to tell stories and swap jokes, all told over sandwiches made of the best cured pastrama in Manhattan. But it's not Leo Steiner's show business by association credentials I'm captivated by. He's wearing his kitchen whites. Oh, unmistakably flecked with the byproduct of corned beef and brisket. Oh, and he smells. Of chicken stock. The essence of somebody who has obviously slaved all day over a stock pot and carving counter. See, you know, unlike, you know, Lonnie and the other goons that hang around in here, I mean, look, Leo actually has like a kind of wide and generous face, you know. Tired, but like, no, in a reflective way, you know, seemingly gratified with his sublime creations at the carving counter. See, to me, he looks like a man who carries with him, beyond the duration of his hectic shift at the carving counter, the poetry of toiling in the charged atmosphere of a hectic kitchen. Incoming! Oh man, I'm discounting the risk of decapitation. There was something violently elegant about the way that the sizzling heavy metal hot plate launched from between the prongs of Billy Marinelli's serving fork through the kitchen air, ricocheting off the splash guard and landing in the sink water like a hot uranium rod. The early Saturday night dinner rush is in full swing, and if Billy gets slammed with 3 or 4 simultaneous orders of broiler items, he's out of hot plates. And if I fail to keep him supplied, well, as we see, decapitation is rolled out. You know, I'm just a kid. This is all new to me. Before I started working here, I knew nothing about fine northern Italian cuisine. My mom, I mean, a working mom, has been a dedicated practitioner of the Stouffer's boil and bag school of cooking for years. But this is the 1249, considered to be one of the finest and most exclusive restaurants in the state. Hey Mo, how you doing? Petey, how's it going, Petey, tonight? Keeping these characters under control? I don't know, Mo. That was the big boss. Mo Allegrini. Little Mo Allegrini, not to be confused with his brother Big Mo Allegrini, who runs a competing restaurant downtown. Little Mo runs the place, but due to circumstances in his past involving time spent in the penitentiary, you know, well, the polite explanation is taxes. But somebody else wants the liquor license. But that's the way it is around here at 1249. Everybody does a little something extra. Well, you know, you can't expect to just walk in off the street and get a job at the 1249. You're going to be sponsored by an incumbent. Well, I got in through my friend Lester, and Lester got in through Nicky Ricciardi. Well, Nicky got in, well, Nicky's root you know. But this is all new to me. I mean, I've never worked anywhere in my life. But most of the staff at the 1249 have been here since day one, and they've never left. Ordering 2 escarole soup and a clams oregano to be followed by linguine bolognese, 1 gnocchi, and 1 pagliafino. That's our head waiter, Johnny Fats. Between him and our maitre d', Al the Gorilla Gugliotti, and Jimmy Pompey, who runs the bar, the front of the house runs like a well-orchestrated symphony. Everybody knows their part. But where I make my $2.50 an hour is back here in the kitchen, washing dishes and doing food prep for Billy the grill man, Luciano the sous chef, and our head chef, Jimmy Coviello. Jim, I'm right behind you. I got the Scampi set up. So hold on, watch out. Get the fuck out of my space. I'll give you a $10. Occasional love tap. That's to be expected around here. On a typical Saturday, I spend 14 hours here at the 1249, mostly assembling the raw ingredients that go into the menu items. But it's Billy, Jimmy, and Luciano that take my raw ingredients and spin them into something you can put names to. Names that, when spoken with the proper ethnic inflection, have the quality of song. Ordering escargot, mozzarella carosa. Ordering raggio, shrimp scappiolo. Ordering ossobuco, pagliafino, zuppa de clams, and zabaione. Oh, palamarone, mange. This food is beyond delicious, beyond savory. It has special properties. The food on the 1249 menu could heal the wounded. Oh, mange. You know, sometimes watching the food go from pan to plate and out the kitchen door, I sometimes sneak a peek out at the dinner crowd. You know, as Mo works the room. There he is. Has an espresso at one table, and then somebody told him that he's laughing at a joke there. Marie, we heard Bobby Rose's mother was with us tonight. We had to make sure you had a good table. I'll leave you to your entree. Mr. Mayor, to what do we owe the honor? I had Jimmy send over a bottle of wine. I hope you enjoy it. Give our regards to Lorraine. Physical displays of affection, that was never Mo's style, but, you know, there's a special grace in the way that this, well, after all, reformed tax felon, you know, puts his hands on people's shoulders during these encounters. Very nice. Boy, I tell you, I've been on my feet since 8 o'clock in the morning, but the hum of the late night rush is giving way to sounds of closure. Jim, is that the last stoop? If that's the last stoop, should I start the breakdown? Yeah, breakdown, mop up, and you get the fuck out of here. Petey. Thank you, Petey. Good job. Now get home safe. You know, I'm proud to be saying my goodbyes for the night at the 1249 to the people of the 1249. You know, the perfect meal it has a complex recipe. It takes the finest ingredients, lovingly prepared by 3 hot-headed chefs, a gentle pat on the shoulder, a cognac and cigar, a prior felony, a funny nickname, a pungent and oily residue all over your face, and a blessing for departure. It's been over 30 years since I first learned about the alchemy of the perfect meal. And in all that time, the good people at Stouffer's have never managed to capture it in a boil. I wanted to tell you. I got so busted for that. That little trip down memory lane about my first job. Yeah, the little gremlin guy that I made the deal with. Oh, you should have. He was like, he went off. He was like, geez, can you be any more rosy about hard manual labor? Like, you're supposed to resent these people, okay? You know, you're supposed to be hungering for fame and fortune. The way it was going, I thought you were going to be assuming the position for them. Geez, a little more resentment and misery, okay? And we're going to have to nullify your contract. I was like, Doug, clueless. That was my first. That was my after-school job as a teenager. I was still living in. The terms of the contract didn't apply. Everybody's a little nostalgic about their first job anyway, right? I mean, you know, I was like, trust me, from here on in, when the terms of the contract apply, I'm going to be the most miserable worker you ever signed on to a deal like this. Maybe this is an opportune moment to express some of that misery. Now, what the fuck, is this thing busted or something? Just, I actually only got halfway through that outburst, because I was preempted. Oh, you're having trouble with your poodle penis. Folks, this is my first day on the job. Don't ask me. I don't know. If there's a urologist in the house, maybe. I don't know. They're very temperamental. I know. Actually, mine's much better. If you want to trade. It's slowly dawned on me that Joel's way of describing the long, tapered, rubberized nozzle at the top of his helium tank was typical shop speak here among the balloon bouquets crowd. Cute and loaded with innuendo. It was actually really nice of Joel to come to my rescue like that. It was my first day on the job, and we were on a pre-dawn call for an outdoor event in the outermost section of Brooklyn. I'm sleep deprived after my first early wake-up call in years. And the icy gale force winds off of nearby Jamaica Bay have robbed my fingers of all fine motor capacity. Poodle penises notwithstanding, I'm intimidated by the task and the equipment. The helium tanks are double hernia heavy. And I'm told that this industrial-sized nylon net has to be filled with 10,000 balloons by noon, at which point they'll be released into the sky, creating a visual spectacle of such magnitude that air traffic control will have to be notified to allow for takeoffs and landings at nearby JFK. But there's plenty of spectacle right here on the ground, courtesy of the colorful cast of characters that make up the Balloon Bouquet's crew. That's Ricky Russell. I met him at 4:30 this morning while we were loading the vans at the office. Rick, do me a favor, grab the other end of the net, just extend it out a little bit. Everything's coming up roses and daffodils. He's been singing a pitch-perfect rendition of the Showstopper from Gypsy for the last 3 hours. A clear indication, actually, that for Ricky, along with the rest of the Balloon Bouquet's crew, balloons are just their day job while they wait for their big break on Broadway. Like my team leader, Joel, a classically trained dancer, so adept at both balloons and dancing that he can do them simultaneously. Unaffected by cold or poodle penises, he produces by far the largest volume of balloons. All, I swear, while practicing a dance routine for an upcoming showcase. Brush, crease, dégagé. Brush, crease, dégagé. Okay, and it was on Joel's second pre-A that I realized I was going to honor the terms of the deal that I made with the devil and be absolutely miserable in this job. And it wasn't going to be the manual labor. It was going to be fitting in. I mean, everybody here is, you know, an actor, singer, or dancer, actor. I don't know, they're all so colorful, you know, and yeah, okay, in my aspirational life, I'm a performer too, you know, but comedian. I mean, you know, I've been painfully made aware of the fact that on this job with these awfully talented people, the comedians are really considered to be like the juvenile delinquent nephew on the Show Business Family Tree. But anyway, so as we worked, I'm sorry, folks. Anyway, fitting in has not been helped by the fact that, notwithstanding that I now have the Showstopper from Gypsy stuck in my head, I am hopelessly heterosexual. I should have known that. I could have predicted that I was going to end up with an inferiority complex on this job. But I was seduced by the way Chuck and Rick described the business on the interview that I had just a few days earlier. We're a high-end enterprise. that creates awe-inspiring decorations for marquee events. We have a national and even international profile. Oh, if we're not decorating, oh, say, a gala event at Old Tavern on the Green, we'll be doing something even more spectacular, like launching a 16,000 balloon release from a fireboat in New York Harbor for the start of the New York Marathon. We provide innovative spectacle for a high-end and corporate clientele. And, I'm sorry. Oh, and no, you'll never be asked to deliver a balloonogram in a chicken costume. Well, you know, as the weeks went by, I mean, some aspects of the job actually did get a little bit. I actually became a virtual master of the poodle penis. But hey, I still couldn't sing the pitch-perfect rendition of the Showstopper from Gypsy, and I certainly couldn't dégager. And I realized that was a big deal for me on this job. I didn't see it coming. I wouldn't have known that this was that I had it within me to feel this way until I started to work with these people. But I had a howling case of dégagé envy. I really did. Well, see, I wanted that freedom, that capacity to just be able to make a spectacle of myself. You know, without all those middle-class hang-ups. You know, that's what I wanted. But as Christmas approached, those hang-ups about fitting in, well, they did begin to diminish a little bit. Well, the holidays had that softening effect. December 21st, though, had been a brutal day. Willie, Joel, and I didn't get back to the office until well into the middle of the evening. As I began to unload the helium tanks, that delirium and the fatigue just began to settle in, which had the curious effect of making me feel sort of silly and giddy for the first time on this job. Well, I mean, it was the holidays, you know, and a gentle snow had begun to fall, and it animated the streets with that cheery kind of bustle. I mean, we were on Manhattan's Upper West Side, the Columbus Avenue corridor. I mean, that's a neighborhood tailor-made for an evening like this. I mean, you know, the well-heeled scurried by in the direction of nearby Lincoln Center for a sing-along Messiah. Well, even the brownstone dwellers, the neighbors, walking by with Christmas wreaths in the crook of their arm. There on the street corner, facing the avenue, I found my inspiration with a tank that had a little helium left. Willie, here, stand by. Hold on. I stand by for instructions. I got a plan. Joel, come here. I got a plan. Hold on, guys. All right, guys. We got a captive audience. Get a lungful, constrict the chords. Now I got 3. 1, 2, 3. Do you see what I see? A pirate dancing in the light with a tail as big as a kite. With a tail as big as a kite. It's like a breakthrough. Willie and Joel are doubled over in laughter. The people on the street are just gobbling this up. It happened there under snowfall and twilight in the season of love on Columbus Avenue. I felt the acceptance of my new family. I love you guys. And I felt the spectacle within me emerge. Under snowfall and twilight in the season of hayseed, we got caught.